Politicians rarely apologize, and even when they do, it's never really an apology for doing something wrong, but more so an apology for getting caught. So, when a politician is genuinely remorseful, it's worth mentioning. Such is the case of a municipal councilor from West Nipissing in Ontario who has issued an apology to community members who were affected by a mandatory vaccination policy that lasted over a year. A policy, I would argue, that is still impacting folks till this very day in our country, not only directly for those who lost jobs, but indirectly with the divide it caused between friends and families from coast to coast. At a council meeting on January 3rd, immediately after the council rescinded the municipality's mandatory vaccination policy, Councilor Anne Tessier said she wanted to apologize for the policy and proceeded to read a statement. A part of her speech surfaced on social media on March 2nd, while the original full-length council meeting was posted on the council's YouTube channel, for which I put a link in the notes section and specifically notated her part of the speech. She went on to say, "I want to take a moment to acknowledge that this policy caused a lot of unnecessary harm and animosity within our workforce and community." That's the understatement of the year, huh? "I believe that this possible policy was mistakenly adopted 12 months ago. The general population knows that today, that the COVID vaccine doesn't stop the spread of the virus. 12 months ago, the municipal council was well aware that the spread did not correlate with vaccination status prior to this policy being adopted. Despite a constituent having presented Public Health Ontario data to the council showing that by January 2022, there were equally or more cases reported per capita in vaccinated people versus unvaccinated people," she said, "the outcome of the council's vote resulted in the implementation of this punitive policy. With all my heart, I extend my apologies to those who were affected negatively by this policy, and I hope that as a municipality and a community, we can move forward," Tessier said. So, kudos to her for admitting that she got it wrong. While it would have been much better had council done the right thing over a year ago, at least they finally followed the science and rescinded this absurd, insane, asinine policy. What I found interesting in watching this video was the fact that none of the other councillors took the opportunity to apologize as well for getting it wrong. The rest of them basically had nothing to say, with the exception of one councillor who inquired whether any city workers had lost their jobs as a result of the policy. Now, given I'm not a mind reader, I can't say why the others didn't. All I can assume is that if you were to ask them, they would probably likely say something like this: "How are we to know? After all, did anyone really know at the end of the day? We were just doing the best we could with what we knew." All right, fair enough. Let's say we give you the benefit of the doubt. You simply didn't know and did the best you could. Well, given you know now, shouldn't an apology at least accompany the rescinding of the law? Or is that simply beneath your stature as councillors to apologize to the very voters who pay your salaries? Apparently, it is. I would love to see other city councillors, MLAs, and MPs, and maybe even a certain prime minister offer the citizens who stood in opposition to these wrong-headed policies an apology, finally acknowledging that those in charge got it wrong. But that would require moral courage, character, and honesty, something they're not full of, unlike hubris and pride. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can always follow me on my Rumble and my Locals account. If you haven't seen some of my other past videos, check them out. You might find them entertaining. And like I said, share your comments with them. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channels, please do so. And I will see you next time.